Hello, and welcome to the podcast It's the Love of God for Me, hosted by none other than Lenisha, a former non-believer turned into a believer of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Subscribe on Apple and Spotify for weekly mind-blowing interviews, actionable tips, powerful revelations, and spiritual strategies that will transform your lives daily. Thanks for spending time with me today. Now let's jump right into our daily dose of practical spiritual food.
I've been thinking and asking the Lord, what direction should I go with this season? And as I was about to go to sleep, I felt the Lord is saying to me, raffle bag. I heard the word in my spirit, or the words in my spirit, raffle bag. And, the Lord began to download an understanding of what He's saying. And I thought, though I didn't really plan to do another season of the show until next year, because we're a few weeks away from wrapping up 2024. And I wanted a little break. As you know, sometimes in between seasons we take a break just to refresh and find a redirection and all of that stuff. And then we start again. So I had plans that maybe season 10 was going to be the last season for this year until 2025. However, I feel like God wants me to do this season as a bonus season for you guys. So I don't think we're going to go through a lot of episodes this season. It's just a little bonus, just to kind of wind down on all the wonderful things we covered this year. So with that being said, I think I want to play a little game with you. So this season, it's all about playing a little game with you. And even though we're going to be talking about real life issues, but I still kind of want to make it fun. So I want to call this season Raffle the Bag, as I heard it in my spirit, but I want you to look at it as a bonus season for you, okay? Again, I didn't have plans to do another season for this year, so consider this one a bonus. Yes, I'm trying to think though, guys, if I did this on the show before. As I was creating the questions or the statements that I want to talk about this season and putting them in the bag to raffle them, I was thinking, didn't I do a season like this before? And I'm pretty sure I did. But even so, again, even if I did, consider this season to be a bonus. So what I have right here in the studio in front of me is a bag, and it has a couple of questions in it. And I will be randomly picking one of the paper and responding to that. And as I am talking to you, I think my memory is coming back, and I can remember which season I did this. I think we did it in the questions that I asked you guys to send me, and then I put them in a bag and just randomly pull them and respond to them. So that's where that memory is coming from. But this one is kind of a little bit different, because these are not your question directly to me, but just real life issues that I know people is going through, because maybe conversations I've had with people or just personal situations I know about. And I thought addressing some of these important issues, maybe you are experiencing this as you're listening to this EP, can help you to kind of have some clarity on it. So I encourage you, as you're going for your morning walk, you are driving in your car, you're taking a shower, you're in the kitchen cooking, you're in the gym, whatever you are doing, I encourage you that this podcast is the place you want to be while you're doing those things. And so let us get right into the game. Raffle the bag in this season. And I already raffled the bag because I didn't want that background noise in your ears. So I already picked the one that I'm going to respond to for today. And we're going to try to answer this in less than 10 minutes. So here we go. All right, guys, I'm unwrapping the paper. This one says, oh my goodness, it says, what should I do if someone I love randomly stop talking to me? No. What should you do if one day you wake up and somebody that you love or you really care about, somebody that means a lot to you, them just randomly stop talking to you? How should you approach that situation? Now, I'm pretty sure many of us, we have dealt with cases like that before. Like, people just randomly get up and vex with you these days for nothing at all. They don't tell you why. I think one of the problem this generation have is the lack of communication or communicating effectively. So if you do something or say something wrong, a lot of times people don't know how to communicate that to you, and vice versa. People offend you, they do things you don't like. You don't know how to communicate that to them in a respectful and effective manner. So there's a lot of communication barrier that's going on in relationship, in friendship. It's bad. So when a person just decide that you're not worth them communicating to you how they feel about, for whatever reason they're upset or offended about, how do you approach a matter like that? Well, I would say how you approach that is first kind of just backtrack on, what was the last conversation you had with this person or the incident that happened. See if you can trace back to that. Try to think of how that person was towards you. Did you see any signs that something was wrong? If there were no signs, then possibilities are something took place in that moment that triggered that person to be in malice with you right now. And sometimes people is good at hiding their feelings, They know deep in their heart they're not with you, but they know how to put on the show. But we're not going to take it that deep because, again, we're trying to cover this. I say 10 minutes, but guys, come on, give me a couple more minutes. Give me 2-3 more minutes, all right? In addition to 10 minutes. So, yes, backtrack to the last conversation you guys had or the last incident that took place and assess that to see where possible you went wrong. And if you feel like you can identify anything that took place that you're in the wrong for, then I would suggest you try to make contact with the individual. If them not block you yet, try to make contact with them and apologize to them where you feel you may have gone wrong. Sometimes, like I said, maybe you can examine the situation and you don't find anything because it could be that it was things that this person was bottling up all this time against you and them just eventually decide they want to cut you off or they just don't want to talk to you in that moment. As well as it could be someone who told them things. Have you ever been there where somebody just randomly stop talking to you because of something them hear you say? And they don't come to you to address it to you. Instead, they just stop talking to you. So if it's a case where after reaching out to the individual and the person still insists on not speaking to you, I would pray earnestly that God get involved. I would ask the Lord to really get involved in the situation and to take the matter in his hands, because sometimes some rejection is for redirection. And that was what I was studying yesterday in the Word of God. Sometimes rejections serve as a redirection. And so even though that person is rejecting you or you feel rejected in that moment, it could be that God is just secretly or silently doing something in your life where it's time to shift you into a different season where that individual just cannot come with you anymore. Especially if you have to say time pass, weeks pass, and the individual just not talk to you and they don't explain to you what is wrong. Maybe you said something, but they misunderstood what you were trying to say, or the point you were trying to make makes them offended, whatever the reason is. Okay? If an apology can't fix it, then a prayer sure will. Put in the comment section, if an apology can't fix it, a prayer sure will. So if you realize you apologize and them still up on them feelings, then leave it alone. Don't push up yourself too much. Don't try to have further conversation, because what we tend to do in situations like this, we try to force ourselves in places that we are not welcome. We try to force ourselves upon people that has clearly made it clear to us that, they just don't want to have anything to do with us. So if you apologize and it's not acceptable, give that individual some space. And if you see where time is passing and this individual still not want to talk to you for whatever reason, then take it to the Lord in prayer. Because when you put God in charge of that matter now, God will begin to weigh the balance. And like I said, maybe it is that God is doing something in you, or in your life rather, that it's time to shift you into another path, as well as He's shifting them into their own path. Children of God, not everybody's meant to be your entire story. Some people are only meant to serve a chapter of your story. But the problem is that we want them from the start to the end, and sometimes it just don't work like that. I did an episode. I love that episode so much. You might have heard me make reference to it before, and it's titled, I think I'm going too fast to stay in time with you guys. I ask you guys to just 10 to 15 minutes, and I'm going really fast, but I just say but guys, I did an episode. It's titled Season of Shifting, and I love that episode. You need to go and check that out. It's in season 2 of this show, so the first few early episodes that I did. And in that episode, the Lord led me to talk about this point where sometimes God tends to shift us in and out of people's life because of destiny. When you were going to high school, I'm pretty sure you were best friends with people in high school and you wanted them even in your adult years. But when you became an adult and you start working and you became a full-time wife or husband, you don't even know where those people are today. You don't know if they're alive. You don't know which part of the world they are. You probably have new best friends. So life continue like that. The people you start off with is not always the people you're going to end up with. And you gotta allow God to just do what He wants in your life, because He knows what's best for you. And even though you feel like that person that's not speaking to you right now, you need them. Maybe you're reminiscing on the things that you guys used to do together, and beautiful memories are there. But sometimes it's time to say goodbye. And why would you want to keep people in your life that just get up and vex with you for no reason and they don't tell you? I mean, if you know why they're mad, then you know how to even become a better person, right? By learning from that. But when you don't know, and these people is choosing to park you like a car that have absolutely no use, why should you allow yourself to be treated that way? So again, apologize first, give them some space, pray on it, and let God do the rest. I hope that helped you in case you are currently stressed out about somebody who decide that they no longer wants to talk to you. Just know that their action towards you does not determine who you are as a person. You are loved. If they don't want to talk to you, I'm pretty sure there are other people out there that love talking to you, wants to talk to you, can't wait to meet and talk to you. And so just allow God to make room in your life for new things. Remember, a rejection sometimes serves as a redirection. God bless. See you next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m. for another game of Raffle the Bag. Bye, guys.